Look, I'm not only reacting to some dumb stuff. Today, you got educational reactions. Alright? Anybody that watches this video is gonna learn how to what? How to outsmart everybody else. Okay. Let's see.
The best thing you can do is teach people
Mm.
to write, because there's no difference between that and thinking. And one of the things that just blows me away about universities is that no one ever tells students why they should write something. It's like, well, you
Yep.
have to do this assignment. Well, why are you writing? Well, you need the grade. It's like, no, you need to learn to think, because think.
I remember one time. I know I'm pausing too early in the video, but because this hit like hits a real memory in my mind. I remember one time, um, I study in an Islamic school, so like in our Arabic language, like for example, in the US they got the English class. In our Arabic class, we have like sometimes, not sometimes, like each chapter we have a how did I call it in English? Like each chapter we have like verses to memorize from the Quran. Okay, so I had one teacher. He always said, if like he gave us like verses to memorize, but he didn't. So say if anybody like memorized and then made a mistake or didn't memorize it like fully, if he's in a good day, he will like pass it or won't criticize it. But if he was like in the normal days, which is 90% he will like try you to these verses for maybe 5 6 times. And I'm telling you, these not short verses and these not short verses too, large verses too. But I mean, when you're writing the same verses like 20 times or 10 times, it's not too much, but um it gets a lot, you know what I'm saying? And it's only for the concept of, okay, it's for the concept of to memorize the verses. But when you tell them that, hey, I memorized these verses and I don't feel like writing them these many times because I memorized them, and the whole concept of me writing them is to memorize them. Then why should I memorize them? And then he will feel like you're trying to challenge him, and he make it like a punishment. Okay, yeah, you act like that. Okay, I want you to write them anyways. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I could feel this point that Jordan Peterson is talking about, and we had that a lot, especially when we were young.
Thinking makes you act
But hey, we
effectively
memorized
in
a
the
lot of
world.
stuff.
Thinking makes you win the battles you undertake. And those could be battles for good things. If you can think and speak and write, you are absolutely deadly. Nothing can get in your way. So that's why you learn to write. It's like, and I can't believe that people aren't just told that. It's like, it's the most powerful weapon you could possibly provide someone with. And I mean, I know lots of people who've been staggeringly successful and watched
Mm,
them throughout my life. I mean, those people, you don't want to have an argument with them. They'll just
yeah.
slash you into pieces. And not in a malevolent way. It's like, if you're going to make your point and they're going to make their point, you better have your points organized, because otherwise you are going to look like and be an absolute idiot. You are not
Yeah.
going to get anywhere.
So let's say you own a pencil factory, I'm a worker in that pencil factory. You can have all the machinery, all the raw materials you want, but without me, and presumably many others like me, to assemble the pencils, all you would have is a pile of wood, yellow paint, graphite, rubber. Who do you think put more
But at the same time, the guy that brings the workers is bringing the workers, financing the money, and at the same time dealing with the stress that if his business goes wrong, then he's going to get bankrupt. Let's see what this
in?
dude
We had
say.
to spend millions of dollars buying
Mm,
all the machinery,
mm,
leasing the place, making sure
mm-hmm.
there was a management structure, doing the LLC formation, making sure all the tax code was in compliance.
Yep.
Or you standing outside because you can stick a piece of graphite into a piece of wood. Now we're done.
If you can formulate your arguments coherently and make a presentation, if you can speak to people, if you can lay out a proposal, God, people give you money, they give you opportunities, you have influence.
Yeah, the
That's
art
what
of
you're in
talking.
university for. And so that's what you
That's
do.
the art
So
of
that's
talking.
you're in English, right? And yeah, in languages, anyways. It's like, yeah, teach people to be articulate
Mm.
because that's the most dangerous thing you can possibly be. So, and that's motivating if people know that. It's like, well, why are you learning to write? Because here's your sword, here's your M16, right? Here's your bulletproof vest. Like, you learn how to use them.
Yeah. I think education is the 21st century's sword in M16, as this guy is saying, because you can have a guy that's tough or that's strong or that has muscles or whatever, but he won't be a threat to the government, especially an oppressive government. But if you have a guy that's well educated and a guy that knows the system and a guy that knows what's wrong with the system and knows what knows everything that's going wrong and knows the changes that needs to be happened for the for government to rise and for government to be better, that's a threat for an oppressive government because they'll feel like he's threatening them not with his muscles but with his education because his muscles won't impact people, but his education and his minds and his wisdom could maybe get into 100 or 100,000 homes, and then all of a sudden he looks around and he finds all these people rocking with him, and they say, we want you to make our changes, we want you to make the good stuff, we want you to 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 motivate us to do good, you know?
Ah, it's just, it's an endless mystery to me why that isn't made self-evident.
I don't know, man.
So that's the sort of thing that can drive you mad trying to sort out.
So I pretend to teach,
Mm.
and you pretend to learn.
It's like people are, there's a conspiracy to bring people into the education system to make them weaker. So I guess that keeps the competition down. Maybe that's one way of thinking about it. If your students are stupid, they're not going to challenge you.
Yeah. If your students are stupid, they won't go and challenge you. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah. But at the same time, I think when he pointed out the education point, where he said education makes you weaker, I think that's true, because I think education is important for all the people, all the entrepreneurs that say education is not important, it's a scam and it's a system and made so that red pill between brackets type of stuff. That's BS. That's not true. You have to need you have even if you're sitting with well-educated people, you have to have education, any sort of education to know what you're talking about. You know, even and I'm not saying only university type of education. You could stay at home and get a degree. You know, you could learn by yourself. I'm not saying that you have to study in a university. That's not what I mean. But what I'm saying is you have to have education. It's a necessity at this day and age. You know, because like it's the root of everything. Um, but the way universities teach nowadays, they basically, they basically like, you want to be a doctor, okay, we're gonna give you, you're gonna study about the bones, you can study about the eyes, you can study about the heart, you can study about all of that to be, for example, a doctor that's doing physiotherapy. Like, why do I have to study all of that to be a physiotherapist? I know some stuff needs, like some stuff, like have to deal with other stuff. But why can't I get the general information? Why can't I get like nowadays science is more evolved than ever. If someone have like for me to be physiotherapist, why do I have to study about eyes, about ears, about why do I have to take all these long years for me to start making money? I'll be like in my 40s. You know what I'm saying? And if I got money from the beginning, if my parents got money, if my parents sent me to a good university, I might make that in half the time. But it will be a struggle as well. I have to be smart. I have to be a student that's not lazy, that's not motivated. I have to be motivated all the time. I have to cut a lot of things out. I have to, you know what I'm saying? So why for me to be a physiotherapist? Why do I have to study all the other side stuff? It's like going into a campaign and doing the side quests and leaving all the main missions at the end. That's not how it works. You know what I'm saying? Like now we're more evolved that if someone got a problem in any other thing, he can make a general overcheck, a general like check on his health, and then he'll see like what's wrong with him. A doctor doesn't need to know everything for a patient. You know what I'm trying to say. You know the narrative that I'm trying to take. So I don't know. I don't know. I feel like the even architecture. You want to study architecture. You're gonna study about thousands of years ago how the Egyptians built their pyramids, how the Ottomans built their mosques, how the Romans, how the Da Vinci built the churches. But we're not gonna go back to that time. Like buildings have evolved, and I've never seen a new building be built like a church from the medieval days. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. The system of the universities need to change because a lot of people are starting to be like starting to drop out. A lot of people are starting to take their own route, and for even for universities to make profit, not only for education, they have to change a lot of stuff. That's only my opinion, and that's Masky Education React.